in our situation, we had been through about 10 years of transition in ministry when we went to Standing Stone. And that 10 years had taken a toll on us that we at many points had said to one another, because we were involved in a ministry of helping others in their marriages and in directing them in their choices of ministry in the future. We said, where's the person like us to help us through this hard time that we're going through? And someone to listen to our story and point out what we're missing in our story.
When we were introduced to our mentor couple, that was really what we were looking for, and we found that that's really what they were, people who could bring a sense of shepherding, really bring a sense of pastoring into our lives, bringing both wisdom as well as genuine care into our lives.
I think the thing I remember the most was that we immediately felt we were among friends.
I think that the word organic really is what it was. From the moment you arrive, you feel like you are part of community. It is not your guests and your hosts are there. It's just very organic. You feel like you're part of it. The setting that we were in gave us an opportunity to actually be involved in the activities that helped things continue on at that location.
It was the first time I had been in the company of someone who understood ministry, the struggles of a ministry couple, the hurt that you accumulate through 30+ years of ministry, and yet really understood the whole aspect of opening their lives to us in a mutual way. It wasn't like, you're here so we can fix you. It is, yes, we've experienced that in ministry, and this is part of our story. So it was very organic and natural, and we just immediately felt we were among friends and could share deeply. It was like we could eliminate all the church talk and get down to who we really were, our hearts.
And even though we knew them only briefly before arriving at the location, it was incredibly comfortable, and it was. It was not, it was just friendly. I mean, it was just the core of friendliness, welcomeness, and a sense of an openness to us, and allowed us to open up to them as well.
We had a ball at Standing Stone. We, as I said, we came out of quite a few years of some questions as to our future, and that tends to drain the fun out of your life. And I think we laughed more that week than we'd laughed in many moons, because our host realized that we were a little fun challenged at that point in our career, and that we needed a good interjection of fun. Fun is like Piaget in child development always said that children, their work is play. But grown-up children, play is an important part for us as adults too. And I think a lot of times in ministry you're so burdened with the things that people are going through and caring for others that sometimes you forget how to have fun. And our hosts really helped us participate in a lot of great fun.
I think sometimes it was hard to draw lines between what was supposed to be fun, what was supposed to be ministry, what was supposed to be work, preparation, and you know, so it just kind of all blurred together, because there'd be times that it would be very, very serious, and all of a sudden fun would break into it, and there'd be other times that you'd be doing something really fun, and in the next moment you find that you're almost in tears, because you're at this very serious, very heartful conversation that's going on. So there was just this fabric of creativity and recreation that was part of the whole experience.
I had been praying and longing for the safety of the kind of experience we had at Standing Stone. And so, yes, it met such a huge answer. It was a huge answer to prayer. It met a huge need in my life to be in a place where I could lay this on the table and it really be understood and spoken to.
I think another part of that is that Standing Stone you have the opportunity, you're the only couple there. In a number of care settings, there might be more than one couple there, and so that sense of safety is really threatened at times by that. By being the only couple there and being with mentors who provide a real sense of safety, you feel like I can really open up, and there's a real sense of comfortability. So I think that idea that Standing Stone really values just ministering to one couple at a time makes a huge difference. Our ongoing relationship with the mentors that we had at our Standing Stone experience, in fact, it's kind of hard to say that we had because it's an ongoing relationship. It was a relationship that started as we began to investigate going to the Standing Stone experience. It was a mentoring relationship that we had there, and then it has continued. Very much has become very peer-oriented, very much that we relate to each other very much at a peer level. But at the same time, they are somebody, because we know from the experience that we had at the facility, at this local setting, was that now we have laid enough information, we've laid the groundwork, foundation is there, that we can go on, and we don't have to give them all new information. We don't have to bring them up to par. They're up to par, they're up to date, and we just need to give them where we are now, and it becomes very, very helpful.
And I think that's part of the safety, is knowing that the relationship with your mentor will be something that continues. It's not been there, done that, moving on to the next couple, but that they take an interest in you for the long haul. And so we have social times with our mentor probably 3 times a year. Lately we've been Skyping with them, just continuing the mutual refreshment that we receive from the relationship.
We would recommend the Standing Stone experience to anybody in ministry, particularly as couples, but I think even as individuals, because the life of ministry can, while at the same time it is incredibly refreshing, it is enriching, it is a part of what God has called us to, it can be a real time of draining. We are expending spiritual energy, emotional energy, physical energy, and so there is this sense of your life really being drained. And that idea that who shepherds the shepherd? When you move into ministry, you are called to care for, to shepherd people, and yet so often you're not being shepherded, you're not being cared for, pastored by anyone in relationship to you. And if you are, it often has an organizational context to it, a denominational context. These people are shepherding me, but they also hold the strings to the longevity of my position, the success that I will have in the future. But to go to a place like Standing Stone, where you know these people care for me, genuinely care for me, for who I am, for what it is that God has called me to, and none of this, you know, it's kind of Fight Club, you know, it's going to stay there, and we're not going to have to worry about who else hears about this, because these people are safe.
We have recommended Standing Stone many times to couples that don't need therapeutic help. It's the first place we think about sending people when we find out that they need refreshment in the ministry and in their marriage. Every marriage, no matter whether you're in ministry or otherwise, needs continuing care and attention. And so these couples have really dedicated themselves to understanding the needs of a couple in ministry and providing that kind of refreshment for the ministry leader, but also for the marriage. And the spouse is really considered. Many organizations really focus on the pastor and leadership, and those are important areas, but Standing Stone really recognizes the need of the spouse. And I have been so delighted to find a place that I feel so confident in sending the couples that we come across who really need this kind of care.